me want to kind of go back to the track. I'm not going to smash it here, but I would like to play a little bit. That was some playing. That was it's just so easy to turn over these Toyos. Jesus, dude. That is fucking strong. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you again for tuning in. Welcome to another video. Today we are talking about some of the newer features for xHP. More so, I want to correct something I've been doing wrong this entire time, and that is learning more about torque reduction. And if you're doing some of the custom settings and using torque reduction or torque punch, I've learned a lot, and I want to share that onto you guys. I get a lot of DMs or PMs about, hey, can you share some of your custom settings? And while I do share them, I'm not against sharing them, I do always put a disclaimer saying, this is what I'm using for my setup, because I have different hardware than you, or I might be at a different flash, or it all varies, wheel size, tires that you're using. So people ask me sometimes about launch control settings, and I'm very hesitant about that. While I do share them, it's almost like saying, what's your favorite shoe to wear outside? It really depends on what you're doing that day. So I'm not gonna talk about some of those other custom settings like launch control or shift points, because they're very particular to me, and I have a different driving style than maybe you do. But for torque reduction, not to share the actual setting I'm using, but the math behind it. And that's what this video is about. Do a little bit before and after, see if I can actually vouch for a difference. So let me tell you what I'm talking about here. It was the assumption earlier on when xHP first came out that they had this torque reduction, torque punch, and you would just take your estimated torque, and if you were overseas it was fine, it was already like Newton meters, but if you were doing foot pounds, take your estimated torque of foot pounds and convert to Newton meters and put that at your slider. And that's what I did. So previously I had done 665 foot pounds. That was my the most on my highest map. And I multiply that by 1.3558, which is the Newton meters, and you can use a little converter here, so just off of Google. So I'll type in 665, and that was 901. So I just naturally took my slider and I slid it to 900 and flashed it and thought I was good to go. That is way off. That is not what you're supposed to do. I've learned that through people who share knowledge to me and just reading and getting updates, and I just want to make sure I pass this along to you in case you don't know that is incorrect as well. So what I've learned is that you are supposed to take your estimated torque. However, I do have an actual dyno number, so I'm pretty set on that, and only use about 2/3 max of your max torque. So in this case, if I take 665 and I multiply that by 2/3, that comes out to about 443.33. So if I go back to my calculator and I do 443, that puts me at now 600 Newton meters, or I would put that on the slider of 600. Very different than 900. But if you want to even get a little bit more specific, and this is just me geeking out and maybe being a little OCD, you have to remember your torque curve, unless you have like a specific tune, which you may, some people like a CS version or a GTS version where it's not as powerful, but it just kind of is linear, maintains. Most torque curves on the F80 and F82 is that it kind of is in the mid-range and then it tapers down a little bit. Your horsepower might be hanging on if you have upgraded turbos, but your torque will kind of go in the mid-range and fall off. So that's we're talking about peak. But unless you're really shifting at like 5,000 or 5,200 RPMs, you probably are shifting closer to at least higher than that, closer to red line. So to get a little bit more particular, I looked at my dyno and I saw that where my preferred shift point is, which is probably around somewhere about 6,700 RPMs, because I do have pures, that it's almost exactly at 600 foot-pounds. So going back now, and this is actually, don't need a calculator for this, but 2/3 of 600 is obviously 400. I don't need a real calculator for that, but if you type in 400, now I'm at 542 Newton meters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my max, which is my mid-range, and then my shift point, add those two numbers together, and then average that out. So taking 542 Newton meters plus 600 Newton meters was 1142. Divide that, it's 571. So once we get into xHP, I'm gonna look at that. Obviously, it's not in increments of like 1 or 5. I don't even think 10. I think it's 50. But I'll be sure to correct myself if I'm wrong. So if you want the fastest shift times, you want the least amount of torque reduction, obviously. If you want the maximum protection and clutch life, you want most torque reduction. Give or take, that goes hand in hand with torque punch. So as you increase torque reduction, you increase torque punch. As you reduce torque reduction, you reduce torque punch. So I am going to look at, if I want a faster shift and my goal is 571, I'll probably go to 550. If I wanted to have a little bit more clutch protection, I'd probably go from 571, which is recommended, up to 600. So that's my range. I'm gonna shoot for 550, which is gonna be drastically different than the 900 that I previously had. And I probably will maybe reduce torque punch down 1 as well. So I'm gonna connect it to the car, get into the app, and also talk about some of the newer features for 2022. Let's go. So I'm going to do that to 550. I'm going to save that. Make sure it took. It didn't. 550. Save. Okay, all right. That's why I double check. Torque punch is currently at 4. I think I'm gonna go to 3. I am gonna lower that from 4 to 3 because it's supposed to be in conjunction. And if you have any questions, you can always click like, how does this work? And it's supposed to say, that this kind of goes hand in hand with torque reduction. At the last sentence, this custom option interacts directly with option torque reduction. Since I'm bringing torque reduction down, I'm gonna bring torque punch down as well. So close that, I wanna do a save. Once again, I'll go back to torque punch, make sure it did. It is at 3. That's all I'm gonna really do right now on the video. I am gonna just do a couple minor tweaks in my shift map editor. I kinda wanna skip that for this video right now, just because those are very personal, just based on your driving behavior and stuff like that. So at this point, we are going to flash. All right, sedan stage 3, I wanna flash that, and I believe, do you want to apply flash settings, the custom ones? Yes, that's what we just did. And did they get rid of 1.0? No, they didn't. All right, why they still have 1.1? I don't know, I won't get into that. Had a not so great experience actually doing a video when I flashed 1.1, but anyway, I'm going from 1.2 to 1.3, which parentheses says the latest. So I'm doing 1.3 with my custom settings, with the reduced torque punch. I'm sorry, well, yes, both torque reduction and torque punch, going from 900 to 550, and torque punch from 4 to 3. And then we're gonna, go for a ride. And hopefully it will be a good xHP driving experience. I'm gonna go into M2, which disables all traction control. If you know about xHP, you really only get the full benefit of all the custom settings if it's on the least amount of interference. A little bit with MDM, but you'll really feel the difference of torque reduction, torque punch with traction control completely off. So Sport Plus, and we'll do some manual shifting. Starting in third, I'm gonna go to like 80%, 90% throttle. Whoa. instant. Started to get a little light on the back there, but I mean, that felt just instant. I need a little bit more open road here. I'm going to check my tire temperature, make sure that we're kind of warmed up. We're about 93, 95 degrees in the rear wheels. I'm wondering about if the torque punch was necessary. The downshifts, man. If anything, the downshifts are like, what's up? I mean, yeah. Makes me want to kind of go back to the track. I'm not going to smash it here, but I would like to play a little bit. That was some playing. That was. It's just so easy to turn over these Toyos. I mean, I don't know what it is. Like, this really should be an upshift thing, unless there's like some hidden things they did under the radar with version 1.3, but downshifts are like, it's just, there was being hard on the brakes. That is what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. I have been doing it wrong this whole time. Road years. Alright, 100% throttle now. It's just bam, bam, bam! It is just... That is an upgrade. That is an upgrade, my friends. Whew. Sweating. Sport Plus is doing a nice job of keeping the coolant temp down to 176. I wonder what my IATs are here. Use my little friendly P3 gauge here. Currently 82 out, and they're at 91. It's not bad. Gosh. It is awesome. They went down to 64 on that. They dropped from 82 degrees out, and then it went down to 64. There you go, meth. Wow. Wow. And the downshifts, that is just a hidden surprise. Someone out there needs to go from 1.2 to 1.3 and let me know what you know with your manual level 3 downshifts, because they are instant. My hand is, my fingertips feel like they haven't left the paddle yet. And it's in the gear lower. And ITs are at 85, and it's 83 now, so 2 degrees over ambient. Now they'll slowly go up because I'm in traffic, but that was cool. It was 82 a second ago, and they dipped down to 64, so dropping 18 below ambient. Anyway, yes, this was a great update. Good job, xHP, on this update. No codes, more smiles. That's what that's about. I'm gonna go in the garage, wrap this video up. And this is how you know you are absolutely nerding out. Anyway, it's not about shift points, but what I do sometimes is I will record my tack at a high frame rate and review back to see exactly where it's shifting and how I want to make adjustments. But that's not what this video is about. I can say this was a worthy update. I don't know if there is a version 1.3 for stage 1 and stage 2 cars. I want to say it might have only been particular to stage 3. Either way, I'm impressed. I think it's a combination of me actually learning a little bit more about proper torque reduction, torque punch settings, and whatever the update behind underneath the hood of 1.3 was. I'm gonna see if I can get a couple more details from xHP exactly, but the car scoots. The shifting is nice. If you like more videos like this and want me to get into shift points or launch control settings, let me know. Like I said, that's difficult to do and share because, you know, I am on stock 437s, but I have Toyos where someone could have completely separate wheels and, you know, really bald tires, or maybe they're running Mickey Thompsons or something like that. It's hard to cross over that. But talking about a firmware update, proper math, I think that's more universal, and that's what this video was about. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about my settings or anything like that, hit me up. And if you haven't done it already, please subscribe. Catch you guys next time. Out.